straight to the issue that I have to give across tonight. But let me begin by giving a warm commendation to all of you, great and indefatigable, indomitable Biafrans worldwide. I want to commend with great joy in my heart the Biafrans who are in the war front in Biafra land, because that is what I describe our land as being like. All the difficulties that they pass through, all the harassment, all the torture, mental and physical, all the killings. There is no war front that can be more than what our people are going through in Biafra land. Therefore, I want to commend your tenacity. I want to commend your loyalty to the leader of this great movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, your tenacity to the cause of the Biafra people. I want to commend you especially for your total observance and total obedience to the order of sit at home, which the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra put in place on the 21st of October, being yesterday, for us all to show our solidarity and support to our leader, who is being illegally and wickedly held by the authorities that, or the cabal that run the zoo called Nigeria. My commendation, of course, goes to our legal team, who are doing a very sterling work, functions and their duties. I commend very much our elder, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezife Okwadike of Ibuku. I commend him because this is the second time he had been in the court for the case of our leader. The first time he was allowed, fortunately, inside the court, but our leader did not, they did not bring our leader to court. And this yesterday, he was also in court, very faithfully. But this time around, many of you have seen how that elder, how that respectable elder from our land was humiliated, how he was treated as nobody, how Okwadike, a former governor in our land, was not allowed inside the court, but was only given a chair outside to sit. And somebody put it very, very succinctly yesterday, asking, can these Janjaweed soldiers and policemen, the treatment they meted out on Okwadike yesterday, Dr. Ezife, can they do that to their so-called Sultan of Sokoto? Of course not. Why he asked that question is for all of us to use our common sense and understand that the zoo is nothing for us. I commend the elder that was also sitting with him. My apologies, I have tried to get his name, but I didn't have his name here as well, because they have they have really shown that this is about their son, and they must give all the support that is needed and that is required. I want to also commend Professor Ejiofor of the World Igbo Congress for his words of encouragement and words of hope to Biafrans yesterday when he appeared on this hallowed platform of Radio Biafra. My dear people, great Biafrans, I am sure that many of you, like myself, after seeing our leader yesterday, in fact, what we say here, we tanked back our energy, and now we have put on the hat and the shoe for this battle to go on as it should go on. One other thing that I need to bring to the attention of all Biafrans is that the fraudster in Ikon's house has continued to destroy the homes and livelihoods of our people in Imo State. Yesterday, it was Izombe, and today, it was also Ihitokwa. And when I say yesterday, I didn't mean yesterday like it happened yesterday, but figuratively. First of all, it was Izombe. They went there, they killed, they massacred, and they destroyed people's homes and people's means of livelihood. And the people who are elders in Biafra land, they saw nothing, they heard nothing, and they became dumb because they could not speak. And these imbecile, these fraudster, he took it as a what? As an acquiescence of the elders in Biafra land for him to continue his crime against the Biafran people. And he again sent in the Janjaweed army and soldiers in Osuhitokwa. They maimed, they killed, and they destroyed. This man called Hopeless Uzodimma has been religiously turning our mothers and our fathers into homeless people. This man has been religiously making children motherless and fatherless. He has been working in accordance with the template that was given to him by the Hausa Fulani Caliphate. And I want to say on this holy platform, I want to say it now, that as Hopeless Uzodimma has made women hope. I beg your pardon, excuse me, I need to take a water, please. I want to say it this very night, that as Hopeless Uzodimma has made women and men childless, so will his mother be childless. As he has made children fatherless and motherless, so will his children be fatherless and also be motherless. As he has made people homeless, there shall not fail one in his family who will not be homeless, because I call upon the land of Biafra that he has desecrated, and the blood of all those he has wasted on a daily basis. On a daily basis, this man is spilling the blood of innocent, and I call on the blood of innocent to do their battle against this very fraudster in our midst. While Uzodinjo is doing the part assigned to him, there are those who were assigned to do the other part, to destroy the four pillars of this great movement that Oyendo has put in place. They are now exposing themselves by the nonsense that they vomit. I want to let our people to pay attention to some of these things that these people talk about. Don't just listen if their nonsense comes your way. Don't just listen and then think deeply. Pay attention to what comes out from them, because they are using their own mouth to tell us. They tell us the goal and the agenda and the work that they have been given to do. And I want to tell you, like I did tell people before, their own part is focused upon to make sure why Uzodimma is spilling the blood of our people in conjunction with the one that calls himself David Umahi in Ebonyi State, while these individuals are moderate, while they are causing sorrow and sadness to families in Biafra land. These other parts that were assigned the duty to do what? What they were assigned was to make sure that they focus on IPOB leadership. They focus on IPOB leadership, that is the Directorate of State. Their eyes are focused on the ESN. Their eyes are focused on our radio platform, the hallowed Radio Biafra, London. And of course, their goal is to emancipate this movement financially. That is why I said, when they speak, when you ever had a time to listen very carefully, because they are using their own mouth to tell you the agenda, to tell you what they have been sent to do. But many of us will simply listen and they will not pay very much attention. In fact, I wish to ask the European rep, Mazi Chika, there was a response he gave to the deputy head of directorate of this very movement, Mazi Chika, in one of our platforms. In that response, Mazi Chika very rightly, he enunciated the goal of these people who have been sent to weaken the leadership, to destroy the leadership, to destroy the arm of the strength of this movement, the ESN, to take over our radio and then to emasculate us financially. These, as I said earlier, these are the 4 pillars of this movement, but I can promise them they are late in this their given task because the train has already left the station. Mazi, please, that your response in our forum to Mazi Chika, make it public so that people can begin to see, they will read and understand where these people are coming from and what their agenda, what their goal, what their focus is in terms of making sure that they want to destroy this movement and to derail our march to freedom. And I promise them they have not been born. None born of woman has the mettle to do what they think they have been sent to do. They cannot destroy this movement. They cannot derail our focus. They cannot derail our march to freedom, and they have nothing. Even if they think that they will discourage people from supporting the ESN, they have forgotten that the ways of Chukwuabiama is not the ways of men. And I promise them from the 23rd of August up to this moment, they have withheld the funds of ESN. Are we not taking care of our men? Of course, we are taking care of them, and we will continue to take care of them, and we will continue to make them, prepare them for the battle ahead, because my great people of Biafra, the battle is ahead of us. We must show our enemies what IPOB is made of, that they have not the mettle, they do not have what it takes to destroy or bring down this movement led by Nnamdi Kanu. And having said that, starting from next week, our continental reps should send to me the date for their ESN fundraising so that this requisite authorization or the requisite authorization from my office will be appropriately given to them, and the date which they have chosen as the date for their fundraising, continental, because we are going to do, first of all, we are going to embark on continent-wide fundraising for ESN. Each of the continents we have, each of the continental representatives we have, begin the plan after tonight to organize a fundraising in your continent for the ESN, for our ESN, of course, and make that data available so that we will not have clash of dates in this very, very project. Great people of Biafra, I need all of you to pay very, very good attention. Very, very good attention to what I'm going to say to you now. You know, these people, they think that they can try our leader, they can conduct a secret trial of our leader. That is not possible, and that cannot happen. They tried it before. They wanted to try him in secret because they had nothing against him. But as usual, they want to bring people that can cover their faces and come and postulate lies and half-truths in order for them to say that Onyendu has committed any crime against the zoo contraption. But they failed at that first time. And at this second time again, I promise you that they will fail. Now, they brought our leader to court yesterday. And as I always tell our people, you must be aware that the Fulani are working. They are working very, very religiously for the agenda that they have. And that agenda is nothing but to subsume every ethnic nationality, every indigenous nation in that contraption called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, to subsume them, to oppress them, and to take over whatever belongs to you. And not only that, they want to take over whatever belongs to you, they want to dehumanize you, that you will begin to think that you're not even worthy to live. And you will be even happy for you to have them, ruling over you. Now, yesterday, after all the theater that they did, and finally brought Onyendu to court, today, like we expected, like the Fulani are wont to do, today the what is he called? The quota attorney general called Malami, or whatever that is his name is, came out with some nonsense press statement, that I will plead and ask for your indulgence to allow me to read a little bit part of it. Now, after the usual greetings, he said, as you are aware, Nnamdi Kanu, the self-acclaimed, I'm reading from what this man wrote. The self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra has been at the center of a subversive campaign against the Nigerian state. Consequently, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested on the 14th of October 2015. He was charged to court for treasonable felony, among other crimes. He was granted bail by the Federal High Court, Abuja, on the 25th of April 2017. He, however, breached the bail conditions and fled abroad. That is Malami telling you. He has lost the memory of what happened to Onyendu. These people are liars. They are all evil people. Evil. I don't even know if there is anything worse than evil that one can use to describe them. He cannot mention that they sent their battalion of soldiers with helicopters and fighter jets to a man who has no weapon, a man who was only speaking with his mouth, exercising his right of expression and right of the freedom of speech, a man that had not hot a flag. They went to his home, jets, helicopter gunships, tanks, armored vehicles, and many battalions of soldiers for one man to kill him, because they know that there is only one obstacle for them not to realize their agenda, and that obstacle is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and this great movement that he has put in place and that he is leading. They know that that man is the only person standing in their way of achieving their goal. So what did they do? As they always think, because for them, just kill whatever is standing on your way, and then you have solved the problem. That is their mentality, the zoo mentality. Kill it, just kill the man, and then maybe they were thinking, just kill him, and then maybe hopefully for them, 1 month or 2 weeks or whatever, there will be uproar, and then everywhere will calm down. They will now pump in the money that Gowon advised them that if he knew that the people love money that much, he wouldn't have even gone to war. He would just use money and give to us, or give to our people to use and fight themselves. That is now what they're doing. They are spreading the money that is coming, that is made from the resources in your land. They are spreading it, they're giving chicken part of it, the crumbs of it, to some of these idiots in the diaspora to think that they have the metal to even come close to derailing this great movement. But I will not digress that much. Now, this man forgot that they sent their army to go and kill our leader. And Chukwu Abiyama being Chukwu Abiyama, because nobody is above him, he saved our leader and made sure, because Onyendu has not accomplished the job, the work that heaven sent to him. Chukwu Abiyama, of course, made sure that he was not part of those that fell on that day. 28 young men and women, very young Biafrans, 28 or even more, lost their lives. This idiot did not remember it. He did not add that to his useless press conference. But I'll go on. And now, why in exile? I'm reading what he wrote. Why in exile? Nnamdi Kanu intensified his subversive campaign using online Radio Biafra to instigate violence and incite members of IPOB to commit violent attacks against civil and democratic institutions, particularly the security personnel, independent National Electoral Commission, and civilians. He instigated the destruction of public and private properties across the country. This is Malami now talking here. Malami has forgotten Aba High School. Malami has forgotten Iguacha. Malami has forgotten Mpo Onitsha. Malami has forgotten all the areas where they have consistently mowed down young men and women who only crime was that they came out with a flag, nothing but a flag, not even a stick, not a stone, a flag, expressing their God-given freedom of speech and freedom of association. His man has conveniently forgotten all this, and he is now in turn telling us that we are now the aggressors and they are the victims. I'll continue. As a result of these criminal activities, IPOB was prescribed and designated a terrorist organization by a federal high court sitting in Abuja. Can you hear that? As a result of our flying our flags and protesting peacefully, even though we were being killed, we wrote and complained and cried. We buried our dead. Nothing happened. Nobody had us. Nobody listened. Nobody paid attention. They went ahead and called us terrorists, and they used their Janjaweed court stamp that name they gave to us. But of course, the international community knows that these people are no terrorists, and they ignored that nonsense from their court. But bear in mind, since 2017, even though that our lawyers had filed a case in court challenging that ex parte order, listen again, that order from the court designating IPOB as a terrorist organization was an ex parte order. Ex parte order, for those who understand law, is an order given by the judge in chamber. There is no representation. They went to their Fulani judges and then asked them, give us this thing we are looking for. Of course, they gave them what they are looking for. But then when our lawyers called them to challenge them in an open court, 2017 counting, up to this moment I'm speaking to you, they have been running away from their court to come and defend that nonsense terrorist name or tag that they gave the Biafran people fighting for their freedom. Now, I read more. He said, despite the proscription of IPOB by the federal government, Nnamdi Kanu continued the subversive campaign, instigating and inciting broadcasts to direct members of the IPOB to launch attacks on government. The NSAS protests of October 2020 played into the sinister plans of Nnamdi Kanu. This is Malami writing, whereby he seized the protests through subversive, that is the only English word you know, nonsense man, through subversive and inciting online broadcasts, and actively commanded and directed attacks on security personnel and facilities. These people are worse than evil. They did not remember that they mowed down and massacred people who were freely and peacefully protesting at the Lekki in Lagos. People just gathered, even with their useless green, white, green flag. They did not have Biafran flag. These people, NSAS protesters, they were not Biafrans. Now he wants to say that IPOB is the people who took it over within Nnamdi Kanu, took it over and then hijacked it. That is his reason. But he can imagine these young men have suffered at the hands of the security apparatus of the zoo. And one day they said enough is enough. That did not stop these murderers from going there where they were peacefully and peaceably gathering and protesting to mow them down and kill many people there. Up to today, have you heard anything about their investigation, their inquiry? Nothing. They extended it to Obibo. In Obibo, the one that they called, what's his name? Nike, became their houseboy there. And he allowed them to decimate and kill and murder very many young Biafran men and women. Their time and day of recompense is coming. Babema shall bear us witness. I read further. As a result of these broadcasts, members of IPOB attacked and killed security personnel and burned down police stations and on and on and on. And then he goes on. He says, on the 12th December 2020, Eastern Security Network was formed by Nnamdi Kanu as an armed wing of IPOB with the mandate to advance the nefarious agenda of the outlaw group. ESN continued to launch attacks on security personnel, civilians perceived as enemies, as well as destruction of private and public properties. Now, he was not satisfied labeling the non-violent IPOB family members as being the aggressors. Now he was now saying that the ESN that Oyundu formed specifically to ensure that our forests are safe for our mothers, for our fathers, for our women, our daughters and sisters to go and farm. The ESN that our leader put in place to ensure that we are not starved to death, because that was the agenda. They come to our farms. Can you imagine such wickedness? Somebody will carry their farm, their animal all the way from the north. They will not destroy the farms, because they are farmers as well. They will not go to the northern part of the zoo to use the farm produce being cultivated not to feed the animal. No, they will not do that. They deliberately, they purposely, they consciously brought their animals down to the south for the single objective of destroying farm produce that are still not ready to be harvested, and then we will be in what we call we will have food shortages, and they will use that as well to blackmail us, as they did when they said that there will be no more food to be shipped from the north to the south. So Onyendu put this ESN in place to ensure that we do not fall into that danger of the plan of the enemy, of the Fulani Caliphate. Now they are saying, because this ESN did marvelously well, because they made our farmland safe. They are so bitter. Now they want to say that ESN was formed for what? To attack their useless government personnel. Who has time for you, for their government personnel? We have our objective, and ESN also have the objective that they were the reason why they were set up. Now, the destructive, listen again, and that is very important that we pay attention here. The destructive activities of IPOB-ESN pose serious threat to Nigerian national security. The bandits, the Boko Haram, the ISWA, these peoples and the Fulani herdsmen, their activities, of course, they are doing moonlight play. Their activities never became any threat to their so-called Nigerian national security. No, it is non-armed IPOB family members, non-violent indigenous people of Biafra, and the very ESN that was set up to even checkmate these their terrorist herdsmen that now he has found his voice to describe them as being or as posing a serious threat to their national security. And he goes on and he says that this posing of ESN and IPOB as a threat to their national security and the corporate existence of the zoo resulted into the rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu and members of his group. Pay attention. He said the rearrest. I said these people are liars. And when we tell you that the zoo is a den of, in fact, the demon himself habits in the zoo. That is why their minister of communication is called Elijah Muhammad. He's a liar because he can be the chief liar, and that's why they made him a minister for communication. Now he said that they rearrest our leader. Where did you rearrest him? He did not say here, because he is a man who is on a mission. The rendition, the extraordinarily, let me remind him if he forgot, that you, the zoo, extraordinarily renditioned our leader from Kenya to the zoo. Therefore, you have committed a crime in international jurisprudence. You have committed a crime, and you are now, as usual, you are trying to turn the tables against us because you think you have the resources, you have the money to buy the shut up media houses, you have the money to engage in lobbyists all over the world. But we will tell you that all those that are working with you, all those that have gathered
people that is incapable of human development and civilization. Once you are a...
From tonight, this is our demand and it cannot be changed. Or as posing a serious threat to their national security. And he goes on and he says that this posing of ESN and IPOB as a threat to their national security and the corporate existence of the zoo resulted into the rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu and members of his group. Pay attention, he said the rearrest. I said these people are liars. And when we tell you that the zoo is a den of, in fact, the demon himself habits in the zoo. That is why their minister of communication is called Elijah Muhammad. He's a liar because he can be the chief liar, and that's why they made him a minister for communication. Now he said that they rearrest our leader. Where did you rearrest him? He did not say here because he is a man who is on a mission. The rendition, the extraordinarily, let me remind him if he forgot, that you, the zoo, extraordinarily renditioned our leader from Kenya to the zoo. Therefore, you have committed a crime in international jurisprudence. You have committed a crime, and you are now, as usual, you are trying to turn the tables against us because you think you have the resources, you have the money to buy the shut up media houses, you have the money to engage in lobbyists all over the world. But we will tell you that all those that are working with you, all those that have gathered, be them in the zoo or outside of the zoo, you have gathered, and your gathering is not of Chukwuabiama and Chukwuoki. You will scatter your gathering into the four winds that he has made and into the four market days that are guiding the four winds of the earth. We promise you that. Now he continued to say that the eventual rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu in June 2021 and some members of his group led to the inauguration of a presidential ad hoc committee comprising 24 members. Now listen, pay attention. These 24 members were drawn from where? Number one, Federal Ministry of Justice, where this imbecile is heading, a Fulani man. Federal Ministry of Information, where the liar Muhammad is heading, a Fulani man. Federal or whatever Nigerian police force, headed by an Inspector General of Police, a Fulani man. National Department of State Services, headed by a Fulani man. National Intelligence Agency, headed by a Fulani man. Defense Intelligence Agency, headed by a Fulani man. This committee, this Fulani committee, this Fulanized committee is the committee that gathered together, that the impostor in Aso Rock gathered together in order to do what? To find a cause, a reason, a ground to do what? To implicate this great movement and also to implicate our leaders. I will not go further to read what nonsense he wrote here, but I want to make a statement tonight. And Biafrans, you must pay attention. The indigenous people of Biafra will not be part of that game that they are playing, that they brought our leader to court yesterday and only allowed pleas to be taken. And then what happened? They postponed or adjourned that case to November the 10th. this is what is going to happen. And this is the demand of the indigenous people of Biafra tonight, being the 22nd day of October. 22nd day, Friday, the 22nd day of October, 2021, exactly at 20 hours 42. That is 42 minutes after 8 o'clock. And 42 minutes past top of the hour in Biafra land or any other place you may be. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, must be released unconditionally. That is the demand that the indigenous people of Biafra are making tonight. Our leader must be released unconditionally, and that must be before their usual date that they have set, which is the 10th of November. And in addition to releasing our leader, these people must give a date for referendum. They must announce a date for referendum for Biafrans to decide our fate, that of our children, and that of generations unborn. Onyendu cannot be tried secretly because yesterday they prevented journalists from accessing the courtroom or even coming into the court compound. They prevented lawyers from coming into the court premises or the courtroom. Now their plan is to, place a cover or a kind of secrecy behind or for this very trial of our leader and try him under their useless I don't want to offend any religion, but they want to try him under their Sharia nonsense. But that will not happen. That cannot happen. I am saying that from tonight, the 22nd of October 2021, up until the 4th of November 2021, the zoo must release our leader. I will repeat, from tonight, this is our demand and it cannot be changed. They must release our leader unconditionally because he has committed no crime. He has committed no crime. They must release him unconditionally, and they have from tonight up until the 4th of November. If by the 4th of November they do not release our leader, from the 5th of November, the indigenous people of Biafra will go back to the trenches and we will call an indefinite. In fact, we will begin that sit at home that we had initially said we will carry out if our leader did not come. And I'm saying now, from the 5th of November, if by the 4th our leader does not come out, the 5th of November shall be, we will announce a sit at home until the court date. The only date that will be exempted from this date will be the date that is a Sunday, when people will be allowed to go to do their prayer, to do their worship, to go to churches. That Sunday, they will be allowed to prepare, fill in their resources. I mean, buy things that they need. And as I'm saying it now, Biafrans must understand that the battle has just started. So begin to prepare your mind. Begin to prepare yourself. Physically and mentally, we must be strong. We must be strong for us to win this battle. Not that anybody will begin to tell you any story and then we will begin to, people will begin to talk one thing or the other. From now, from this night, from tomorrow, begin to prepare for the eventuality that from the 5th of November 2021, there will be a lockdown of Biafra land until the date of the court, which they have announced, which is the 10th of November 2021. And with exception, let me repeat, exception that the Sunday, when this sit-at-home will commence, the Sunday following it shall not be a sit-at-home, because our people who are very religious and who have great faith in Chukwuabiama, we will allow them to go and pray and worship in their respective churches and their respective places of worship. And I want to state and say very, very carefully here, those that call themselves our religious leaders, those that call themselves our traditional rulers, the zoo has fixed their next court date for the 10th of November, if that court date will hold, because our expectation is that they must release Onyeni because they have no case against him. Forget these concoctions here that Malami just brought out today afternoon. They still do not have anything against Wachineke, and they must release him. But if they did not and continue to hold their court case on 10th of November, if you are a traditional ruler in Biafra land, you people must now come together, because you must send a delegation to Abuja. If you people are church leaders, the clergy in Biafra land, you must now begin to plan, because you must send a delegation to Abuja for that court date. We have to begin to know those who are for the people and those who are not for the people. And it is now, the next court date will show us if you are part of those whom the enemy is using to destroy our land, whom the enemy and the politicians are using to impoverish our people, whom they are using to subjugate our people. And we will take note of that, and time will, of course, help us to do what is needed to be done going forward. Great Biafrans, we know that we've heard, but we want them to confirm it. But I am not even waiting for them to confirm it. What I want to say this evening is that the impostor in Aso Rock is not welcome anywhere in Biafra land anymore. He is not welcome. Because we heard that the man in Ebonyi State called David Umahi is planning to make him or bring him to Ebonyi State to come and visit and do what, and I don't know what he built or whatever. He was doing his duty. Of course, even if you build anything, that is the job why you become a governor. Nobody should praise you or clap for you because you build a road. Now we heard that they are making plans for these inputs to come to Ebonyi State. We will give them the same treatment we gave him in Imo State, because none of them is welcome in our land. You cannot hold the leader of a nation. You cannot hold our leader, and you come to our land to laugh at us. You come to our land to urinate on the graves of those that you killed through your army. Therefore, Buhari, or whatever he calls himself, is not welcome anywhere in Biafra land until our leader is released. And if our leader allows him or allows anybody that we represent him wants to come, that is the prerogative of Union. But as far as we are concerned, he is not welcome. Anytime he comes, we will tell him he's unwelcome, and we will give him the treatment that Biafrans always give those that are like him. And going forward, also, from tonight, any program or event that is Nigerian in nature, being organized by any zoo agency or ministry or department, any event that they want to organize in our land, they must get the permission of the owners of that land. They must get our permission because Biafra land belongs no longer to them. You cannot come into somebody's land and then begin to do what you want without getting permission. You cannot do that. And from tonight, those who want to bring any event from the zoo, they may call it educational outreach, or they may call it whatever. You cannot. Those things will not happen in our land anymore. If you try, we will of course mobilize our people to do what, to boycott such things. And of course, you must take permission from the owners of the land. You must obtain permission before you bring anything that is Nigerian in nation into our land. Biafrans, we must understand that we are in a very, very precarious time. We are in a very, very dangerous time, and it is desired and demanded of us that we must all be very attentive, that we must all be very, very at alert. We must be very, very at alert, because they are not relenting. Those whom they have recruited, they are not relenting. Therefore, we must not relent. Our eyes must continue to be on board. Our destination is nothing but Biafra. Our objective is nothing but a restored, independent, and sovereign Biafran nation. But the short-term objective that we have today, because that Biafra that we are seeking, we will be led into that new Biafra by only one person, and that is Nnamdi. Therefore, our short-term objective, our immediate concern must be, all hands must be on deck, that we must ensure that he is out from the hands of the enemy, to continue the march to our freedom and to continue to bring these very, very heaven-ordained project to a very, very victorious conclusion, that Chukwuabiama may take the glory, and that we all may, of course, be able to enjoy. Biafrans, Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra for us is our heritage. Biafra is our identity, and Chukwuabiama, the owner of Biafra land, the spirit that owns Biafra, it is only him that we bow down, and it's only him that we worship. And having said that, the Psalms reading continues. We have, today is the 146th. We have very few days to conclude this. Everyone must continue to read the Psalms. Those who have not been doing that, follow the last days that this Psalm reading is being done, for us all to get to the end of it. And then, of course, the 50th day, I believe there shall be a day, it should be, I understand, they are planning a day of thanks and praises to all of you. A day of thanks and praises to Chukwuabiama. Therefore, I want to thank all of you for listening. I want to continue to encourage all of you. Tighten your belt, because we have entered the stage where we all must no longer overlook all the shenanigans that is coming from the zoological report of Nigeria. We must be prepared for what they are coming with. We know how they operate. We know what their minds are. We know what their objectives are. And we must not allow them to dictate it. That is the reason why this Malami came out today after yesterday. They are thinking, They have seen their leader. Now they are happy. Now let us feed them. We know that you will do your takiya stuff because that is your nature. You will do your takiya. You think you have shown our leader. You will now come and use the hammer on us. But we are waiting for you. And Chukwuabiama is leading this battle. And for us, victory is assured. And Chukwuke shall take the glory. Therefore, I want to say from here and from me, may Chukwuke abide and guide and strengthen all of you in your duties. May he keep you focused. May he keep you loyal. May you understand that without Machineke, that without Onyendu, our generation is doomed. And all the sacrifices that all those of us are making in Biafra land, think about it. It is just but for a while, because the joy of victory shall last eternity upon us and upon our children and generations born. May it be with all of you. And from me, from here, I want to say to you, good night and sleep very well. Thank you so much.
Because you are a Nigerian, Yoruba man has spoken. Nigerians are not sincere. As I didn't tell you before. He's a Nigerian, no? He's telling you that their people are not sincere. Did I not tell you before that they are not sincere? You want to know what is insincerity? I will give it to you the way it is. Because the zoo is patently evil.
Yes.
Nigeria is evil. Do you know how much they stole? 400 billion pounds is in Europe, is in Asia, according to UK group. Russian zoo, the amount of money they steal will start off a tsunami. 400 billion. Very close to $1 trillion, an amount of money that can build second Niger bridge, pay for free education for every child, make sure that all roads are built, you have running water, you have electricity, your university is funded. 400 billion pounds stolen by the monkeys, and blame it on these people. You have 400 billion pounds stashed in 3 continents. Tell you that Nigerians are insincere people, you must believe me.
That's right.
There is something dishonest, a people that is incapable of human development and civilization. Once you are a zoo, monkey, or baboon, you must live your life in infamy. Because you are a Nigerian, Yoruba man has spoken. Nigerians are not sincere. As I didn't tell you before. He's a Nigerian, no? He's telling you that their people are not sincere. Did I not tell you before that they are not sincere? You want to know what is insincerity? I will give it to you the way it is. Because the zoo is patently evil.
Yes.
Nigeria is evil. Do you know how much they stole? 400 billion pounds is in Europe, is in Asia, according to UK group. Russian zoo, the amount of money they steal will start off a tsunami. 400 billion. Very close to $1 trillion, an amount of money that can build second Niger bridge, pay for free education for every child, make sure that all roads are built, you have running water, you have electricity, your university is funded. 400 billion pounds stolen by the monkeys, and blame it on these people. You have 400 billion pounds stashed in 3 continents.
the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revive the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafra army the fight, and they were singing out. They were singing out. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafra to victory. Nnamdi Kanu, Africa, Kapanano. Hey, wanna sing along. He's another savior.
Make sure that all roads are built.